Welcome to this class. And in this class, we'll be looking at how we can use SPSS to analyze data. SPSS was invented by IBM, that is International Business Machine, that is an enterprise, an organization, or corporation. So SPSS stands for Statistical Package for Social Sciences. So over time, we've been able to talk about, or learn about how to use Power BI to analyze data. But in this class, we'll learn how to analyze data with SPSS, majorly for statistics, that is carrying out analysis in that regard. So how do you launch your Power BI? First of all, how do you install your Power BI? Your Power BI can be installed, SPSS rather. So go straight up to open or launch your Power SPSS from your computer. So after you have been able to install your SPSS, the next thing is to get it launched before you start working with it. Now you can launch from your desktop area. Then you right click and you click on and select the option of open. That is first. You can also double click on the application from your computer. If you have it on the desktop, then it's going to load. Or you right click, like I said, you click on open. Okay. So it's still the same thing, that's the same result you are going to get. Or you can come to your start button. When you click on your start button, if you have it, you have all the applications installed that can be displayed by just calling their names instead of start looking for them one after the other. Now I have it here. I can click on it, the name, and it's going to open from your computer. Then another method, the last method, is if you have it pinned to your taskbar. This is your taskbar here. If you have it pinned to your taskbar, you can click on the icon from here. Then it's going to launch out from your computer. So now I've been talking about the methods of launching your application. When you get it launched, this is the first page you are going to see. Okay, you are going to see a dialog box displayed on showing details about the application. This is showing you that you can open a data set, or you can open new database query, or you can open from your recent files. Okay, you can just click on any of these to open it up, or you can open from another file. When you double click, it's going to open up when you have it another file. All you have to do from here, double click. From here you can double click on this one, so it will open the same thing. The one you are seeing at the background, that's what you are going to get for this one. And this one is going to open a fresh page for entering data. Then this one, sample data, already created data that you have on your computer or your SPSS. It's going to load it up. Then on this side, it's saying what is new. So what are the new features that are added to your SPSS? Okay. Then when you are done, you can open from here. Then, or you can click on this close button to close this dialog box so that you can work with this fresh page that is opened. Okay. Then on your Power BI, we have two views. Okay, we have data view that displays when a data that has been structured, then you want to see it, or you start, that is communicating with your application, interacting with your application. Then you click on the second view, which is variable view. On this view, it helps you to structure your data. Okay, it helps you to give a name to your variable, that is variable view. It helps you to give a name to your variable view, to your variable. Then this column helps you to give the type, change from one type of data to another. This one gives, the width, the number of character you want to see in each of the column or your data view. Then if you have the value as decimal, this helps you to place the number of decimal places. Then this is label, the label type. Okay, this helps you to write your data type in full. The name of your column. Okay, the full name for your column. This is the label. It helps you to explain better or give details about the variable name you've given. And the value here. Okay, we have categories of values that you might want to give value to each of the category. This helps you to do that. Then there's any missing value. This helps you to add them to the column, okay, or the variable. Then this one talks about the length of your column, while the other one talks about the character, that is number of character. You want to see the width. Then alignment, you can align to the left or to the right or to the center. The measure here talks about the, majorly we have qualitative and quantitative type of data. This helps you to give measure to the type of data that you have. Then the last one, which is the row of how the data will be that is put into the whole data set. So it can be in input, targets, or both, or none, or partition, or splits. So we'll be looking at it one after the other. So now let's go to the name. How do you name your variable? Your variable can be named using either snake case. That is, the first one is, let's start with the one of camel case. Like I said in class, camel case. When you are naming your variable, camel case starts with a small letter. Then the next word of your variable will be capital letter. For example, that is uppercase. You write this like this. So let's say this is the name of a variable. Okay, so this type is called the camel case, because the first one starts with small letter or lowercase, and the next word of your variable name starts with capital letter, with no space in between. Okay, now the other one is Pascal case. Pascal's first letter of every word starts with capital letter. So I will say Pascal case. So this is an example of Pascal case. You can write your variable name in Pascal case. Okay. Then another one is snake case. The snake case has both words of your variable name are in small letter, but they are separated with an underscore. In case you have two words for the name of your variable, then you have it both in small letter, but they are separated with an underscore, okay, to show that you have a space in between them. Okay, so apart from that, you can't start a variable name with a space or a character. If I put a space before writing the name of the variable, for example, the name of the variable is variable 1, okay, and I've left a space here, see what happens if I press enter. It's going to tell me that I have the variable name contains an illegal character, so it is not allowed to leave a space, or you put a character, for example, at variable name 1, variable 1, okay. Oh, that's actually work, but some other ones like let's try slash. Okay, slash doesn't have that, it's an illegal. Okay, for example, let's try dollar sign. That is an invalid variable name. It's only at, out of all those alphanumeric, at works, but every other one, like let's try hash. Hash does not work. So it's even better not to use any character at the beginning of your variable name. The first one is do not put a space. The second one is don't use any alphanumeric character, okay, as the first name. It's only add that has worked since I've been trying to put all those alphanumeric characters. So another thing is do not put a space between two variable names. Okay, for example, variable 1, and I leave a space, I put 1. It's going to tell you that it contains a legal character. So don't put a space in between two variable, that is a variable name that has two words. For example, instead of doing that, you can either put an underscore on between them like this. So this will actually work. But anything that will make you to put a space between them, it is not allowed. So having said that, the next thing is to talk about the type of data that you enter into your variable. So you know that I already said variable is a container that helps you store data into it. Okay, for example, you have a container of, that is a bottle. Bottle is an example of a container. So you can add water, you can add things inside. So your variable is just like a container that helps you store data. Now, what are the type of data you can store inside your variable? So if you click on these three dots button, okay, it gives the examples of type of data that you can enter into your variables or variable. Like numeric is talking about anything that is related to number, so you use numeric. Comma is another type of character, which is what is it called, alphanumeric, that you can use. So you can use comma or dots. Some cases, for example, some country you use comma instead of full stop. For example, some are represented in let's say currency. Some use comma instead of the dots before the last two digits. That is like when you want to represent dollar in cents, the last two digits. Some countries might separate with comma, so you can use comma in that case, or dots for those ones that use that is decimal number for dots. Then scientific notation like beta, alpha, like that. So you can use that type of data and store them in your variable. Then we have dates. Dates comes in different formats. Okay, one thing is the way you define it here. That is how you should enter your data in your data view. Okay, after you have structured it, you'll be able to go back to your data view to enter your data. Okay, like these are the formats your date can be. You can pick any of this format and you must follow it the way it is. That is for dates. For dollar, dollar can be in digits. The number of digits you enter from here, it is advisable you follow this, the format, and do the same thing. Then custom currency helps you to enter other, what is it called? Other currency of the world. For example, naira and some other currency of the world. So we just move to the next one, which is string. String is a collection of text, alphanumeric character, or that is alphabet, numbers, and text. So at the same time, we use string for such. So then restricted numeric, for numbers that have leading zeros, like 001, 003, like that. So these are the types of data you can store in your variable. Then the width, I've talked about this width. The number of characters you want to see in every cell of a column or a field. Like the default number is 8, but that doesn't mean you cannot adjust it. You can adjust it to, like, let's say 10, 12, 14, 15, like that. Okay, so we leave it as 8. Then the decimal, if you are going to have, like you have numeric now, if you are going to have decimal, okay, and you can specify, the number of decimal place or decimal number is going to have. Like this one is 2. Okay, yeah, if you don't want it to have decimal, you turn it down to 0. Then this one gives details about your variable. For example, if I write SN, for example, SN, okay, I can come here and talk more about the SN. I can say serial number. Okay, but this time around you can have a space in between. Then for this one, I talked about categories, but for now, you might not use it for this serial number. So because there's no way you categorize your serial number. Okay, but in some cases, for example, you want to have like age, categories of age. Then you can say from age 1 to age, age 1 to you call it let's say age 10 to 16. Okay, mostly it uses number. For example, if I say 1 for women or men, then I can say 2 for women. Okay, hard. I can say 3 children. Okay, so like that can be used for entering value. But for this one, because it's serial number, there's no point doing that. Then the missing number for this case, we don't have any missing value. Then the number of, that is the column, the size, we have it as 8. But this time is not. This can be this is adjustable. Okay, when you get to your data view, you can adjust it. So it's talking about the width of your column. Why the width that we have here is the number of characters in each cell of the column. Then this one is talking about the alignment of the value. Okay, you can align it to the left or to the right or to the center. But for this one, because it's serial number, and I want to prefer it at the middle, so I will say center. Then measure, because it's number, we use scale. Okay, you can then for the ordinal, majorly is talking about that is in a certain order, yeah, from the word order. For example, you want order like low, medium, high, you can use ordinal for that. But for the nominal can be categories. For example, in a case where you have female or male, those are nominal, that they are labeled, with a certain category. But generally for numbers, we use scale. So the mode of entering, or the role of how the data will be, acquired or gotten, is input. Okay, so we leave that part for now. Then you can say, for example, full name. Full name can be like this, underscore name. Then full name now cannot be numeric. Full name will be in string. So now the number of character can be 30 because some names are so long. So you can say the width has been adjusted, which is character. Now decimal, no. Then keep details about the name. So we say full name. Or you can just say first name and last name, something like that. But I'll just leave it as full name. Then every other thing remain the same, apart from we have nominal. Yes, nominal. That is, nominal categories. So then inputs, we are going to use a row. Then age, for example, you can have age. Then your age is numeric. It doesn't have a decimal. Then I just turn down the width, number of characters, to 3. That is the highest digits you can have for people's ages. Can be more than 3 digits. For example, someone that is even 500. I don't think we have up to that, in our present age. Then for the decimal, don't need it in decimal. Age. Then about the age, we can make it to be at the center. Then for this one, we use scale. Okay. Then let's say date of birth. I use DOB for this one, date of birth. Then this is calendar. So pick dates. Okay. Then you can choose the type of format you want it to take. Like this one that is selected here. The first one represents day. Okay. Then the middle one, you are going to use a type of format that will make the day to be in 3 digits. Okay, that is 3 characters. Okay, for example, you want to type February. That is going to be FEB. January, you say JAN. So that's the format. If you are going to use something else, for example, month or day, like this one now, day, month, and year, you can pick the dates. Okay, but you have to separate them with what is it called, dots. Okay, for example, let's pick this one and say okay. Then you can now write it in full here. Date of birth. Date of birth. Then value. There's no value. We are not trying to categorize anything in that part. Then this one, let it be at the center. Then the dates, some scale. Use scale. Okay. Okay. I think so. We leave it for now. Then we go to our data view. Okay. Now you can see that according to the way we've numbered or to name the variable. That's how we see our header here. Okay, now this is the serial number. Let's enter 1. Then full name, let's say James Bond. Okay, the age, maybe his age is let's say 45. Let's say his age is 45. Okay, then here, don't forget the way we said it. I'm going to separate the day from the month from the year by dots. Let's say he was born on the same day that we are, 13th of February 1980. Okay, you can see that I follow that format. So that's how you do it all through. Let's say this one is 36. 6 should be, let's say he was born the same day with James Bond, 1989. Okay, so that is how you do it. You follow the format you've created here. Okay, then you do the same thing here. So that is how to enter data directly into your SPSS. What about if you have some other data already created or collected somewhere? Then you need to work on them like we did in class. We have unstructured data that you want to structure them so that before you go on with your cleaning and formatting or transformation, before you do your visualization. So now to do that, you click on File, click Open to open the data. What are you opening? Data. Okay, you click on Data. There you need to pick the type of data you're opening. Like the unstructured that we use in class, we use CSV. Okay, so I'm going to go into my download. Here I have it, shopping mall sales. Then you click on Open. Then you wait for it to load. Okay, for it to load. So after it has loaded, you're trying to separate them into their different columns or different fields. Now it's asking you, does your text file match a predefined format? It's already no, because it wasn't preparing that sense. It wasn't preparing rows and columns. So you say no. Then next. So we are using delimiter, okay, to separate them into their specific field or their fields. So pick delimiter. Then are variable names included at the top of the file? No. Okay, they are not included. So we say no. Then what is the decimal symbol? Period. Even though we don't have, so you leave it as periods. So that is decimal. Then you click on next. Then the first character or the first case of data begins on which number? Number 1. It starts from number 1. Then each line represents a case. How are your cases represented? Each line represents a what? A case. So you leave it like that. How many cases do you want to import? All cases. So make sure it is all cases. Because although if you want it to be specific, you can say maybe first 1000, first 100, like that. Click the first. But this one we leave it as all. So click next. Now, this is the place where you choose your delimiters. Your delimiters are those characters that separate text. Okay, it can be comma, space, colon, semicolon, tab. But for this one, we have space as the major, separator or delimiter that separate those characters. Then we have comma because it's a CSV file. Okay, CSV stands for comma separated value. So automatically you should know that this one is included. Then if you have any other one that is not included, you use other. Okay, when you pick other, then you can type it into by yourself. But for this one, we yes, semicolon or colon is there, so we use colon. Then pick next, variable name v1. You can start with v1 with data format, automatic, so just leave it as automatic. Next, then would you like to save this file format for future use? If it is yes, you say yes. Okay, if you say yes, you can save it, but we leave it as no for now. If you like to paste the syntax, say no, leave the other ones for now. So you click on finish. Okay, so when you click finish, now your data has been separated into their separate columns or fields using the word, using the delimiter, comma, semicolon, and comma, semicolon, colon, and the other one, which is we use colon, comma, and the major one there, which is space. Sorry, I wanted to remember the word space. So space is the major delimiter here, because most of all those characters or most words there were separated initially with what? With spaces. So we are going to, the next thing we are going to do is to do cleaning. Okay, after you've been able to separate them into their separate or individual columns, we are going to do a kind of cleaning, which helps us to remove the values that we don't need. Okay, then before, yes, do all the cleaning before we transform. You do cleaning before you transform. So let's clean. We pick the first column, which is, we don't need it in this, in this table or the data set that we want to use. So we don't need this column here too. Then we don't need this one with A. We don't need this one with customer. We don't need the bots, because to make a selection of all these ones at the same time, all you have to do is to hold on to your control, or to the control on your keyboard. Then you start clicking from the header. Hold on to control on your keyboard. That key that has CTRL is the one that is called control button or key, control key. Then category, we don't need it. For, we don't need it. Naira, we don't need that Naira column or column. We don't need this one too. We don't need the paid. We don't need where. Then every other column, okay, is needed. Every other column is needed. So I'm going to right click to delete and choose clear option. If I click on choose, clear option, is going to remove those ones that we don't need. Okay, after you have done that, yes, we see that we don't have, there are some column that we have some characters that we don't need. Like for example, this one now, we don't need this bracket S bracket. So how do we remove it? We use replace value to remove such characters like this, to represent them or to replace them with something else. For example, if you remove this bracket S bracket, what will you replace it with? That means you are going to replace it with nothing, so that it can leave that space that it is. So we go to, you click on edit menu and click on replace. Okay, so whatever you want to replace will be typed into the space where you have find. Okay. Then with what? Nothing. So that means we won't type anything here. And we'll click on replace all. So it's going to replace all those characters that we don't need in this column. Then another one that we have character we don't need is this V21. We don't need all these arts. So we go ahead and do the same thing and replace them with what? With nothing. I'm going to type art here, replace all, and close. Then here we don't need these arts at the same time. Click on replace, then we put arts. It's already there, so we say replace all. Then for this V23, we don't need on. So we type on, replace it with nothing. So click replace all. Then this one, we don't need on to replace all. Then we also don't need put this accord part. So we remove accords. Okay, we replace it with what? Nothing. That one is done. Then this one, we don't need the on. Okay, we replace all. Okay, for this one, replace all. Then we don't need this dots. For this dot, we don't need them. So we can just do, we can select the three at the same time and put dots here. Replace it with nothing. Okay. So we can only do, I think we can do for one column at a time. Let's replace all. Then we'll do the same thing for this one. Okay. Then what is next thing for us to do? The next thing is to, like these two columns, they are supposed to be in the same column, but they are separated into individual, or what is it called? Individual columns or fields. So now how do we bring them together? We need to merge them. Okay. Since we have a string type of data here, also string type of data, we can join them together by using the method called concatenation. Okay, to do that, you go to, we can write syntax. Okay, syntax to bring them together. So to do that, we go to file, you click on file, you click on name, and click on syntax, because we want a new type of syntax or a new set of syntax so that we can join them together. So whenever you want to create a new column in your SPSS, you first of all name the column, the type of variable or the type of data you want to store in the variable, because each of the columns represents a variable. So I'm going to type string, since we are joining two strings together to form a string. And the next thing is the name of the string. Okay, the name of the variable rather. So we can call this variable payment or payment method. I'll call it payment. Okay, I'll call it payment. And the next thing, you leave a space. You specify the number of character you want to see by saying A first, then the number of character, which is 20. Then when you are done writing your statement or your syntax, you put dots to end that statement, the first statement there. That is creating a new variable. The next thing is to compute the variable. Okay, Okay, the new variable we're about to create, which is payment, you compute it to something. That means you now put a formula you want it to, you want the outcome to follow, or to generate that formula that will generate the outcome or the output. So what is the formula now? To compute two string, we use a function that is called concat. Okay, you call the name of the function, which is concat. You are going to open a bracket in front of the concat so that you enter the values your concat function is going to act on. Okay, now what's your function concat acting on? It's acting on V20 and V21. So, but there is one function again that helps you to trim every unnecessary space around your data, which is called rtrim. Rtrim is the name of the function. So what's your rtrim acting on? It's acting on V20. Okay. Then comma followed by comma. Then because we need a space between such two strings that we are joining, like online transfer, so there should be a space in between. So I'm going to represent the space with quotes, leave a space and quotes. So the empty space that is there, that will be what will be in between the two words that we are trying to join together. Then the next one is the name of the second variable, okay, which is V21. So change this one to V21. So I copied it. Then when you are done, you now close the brackets that you opened here, which is for the concat. So the bracket will close for the concats like this. So then now that you are done with this statement, you put a full stop. Okay. So once your function has turned to be like this, you know that you are on point. So now when you are done writing your code, write execute to finish it and put a full stop. So you are done with your syntax to generate or to join two variables together or two strings together. So to run it, you highlight it, then you click on this run button. See run selection. Click on it. It's going to generate a new variable. It's called payments. Okay, something is wrong there. Let's go back to it. And then do we need to put the quotes? I don't think so. Okay, now I see where the challenge is. Okay, there's supposed to be a comma after this space. So there's a comma here. You separate every word or every variable you are concatenating with a comma. Okay, so now the ones we've generated, let's go ahead and we remove it because we can't use the same name to generate another variable. So now I'm going to go ahead and execute it again. We highlight and click on the run button to generate it. So now you can see that the name or the two variables are being joined together into one column or one field. So likewise, you can go back to your variable view and centralize the payments column. Here we have left, so you can come here and say center. Okay, so you go back to your data view, and this is it. I think we are is better on the, let's leave it to the left. To the left. So we have it to the left. Now we want it to be now we can go ahead and delete this one and this one. We don't need it again. So we clear. Then the next set of concatenation we're going to do is this and this. So I will go to that syntax panel, dialog box for environment. I will change the name of the string I want to create. I'll call this one location. And I will also call this one location. You can edit what you have so that it will generate another column, but by changing the name, okay, you don't have to go all the way to file, syntax, and like that, so that you can have, so you can use the same this is syntax editor, okay, to generate another column. Then concat is still going on, but this time around we are concating 23. Okay, we want v23 and v24. So, but we don't need a space in between. So I will remove this one. Then we change this one to 24. Okay, so everything is set. I will alight and click on run button. So we have that done. Okay, sorry, it is 23, it is 22 and 23. 22 and 23. So I will delete this one and redo it again. So I am seeing something like dates there. It's not, we are not supposed to have that. It's supposed to be 22 and 23. So I will rerun it again. So that should generate that. Now we have it there. So I'll go ahead and delete this one and this one. Clear. Then we can concat this, this, and this. So V24, V25, and V26. So let's use the same editor. But this time around we are calling it dates. Dates. Then dates. So now this one will be 24. I'll copy this one. This time around we also don't need a space. 25. Then you put a comma after the 25 and paste this one and change it to 26. So everything is set. We are light and run. So that should solve that last part. So we have a date, a light, done, put all in one column. So I'm going to go ahead and clear. So that's that. So we have all our data clean. Okay, so now let's go back to the variable view to change the name of the variable. The first one we call it sale code. Sale code. Remember, no space between sale code. Let me see the second one. The second one is gender. And the third one is quantity. So likewise we can use the same here. Now we can say sale code with space. gender, you can repeat gender, the same name, and label can be the same. Quantity, then V9 should be product. And we have category as V12. And price. So we have price in this one. So we can call it purchased price. And this one can be payment date, payment method. Then this one, location of sale. Location of sale. Then purchase dates. So now we are done with naming, and everything is well packaged and well cleaned. So now the next thing we are going to do is to the type. Okay, we need to change the type. Like the price now is numeric, that one is correct. This one is also numeric. Then this one is not string, this should be dates. Okay, so the dates now is let me look at it. Let me look at the format we have. The format is year, month, and day. Year, month, and day. Year, month, and day. So the dates will be year, month, and day. This one. So repeat this format. Okay, then we say okay. So that's that. So everything is set. Now the next thing is to add currency to this price. Okay, we need to add currency to it. So add currency, we go back to view, and the price where you have price, instead of having it as numeric, we say custom currency. Just click OK. Okay, now we have it as Naira. Then the alignment, I think it should be on the left. Alignment should be left. Okay, that is that. Then one other thing is, if you can't find, after you have changed to custom currency and the what is it called, the symbol is not showing, okay, what you can do is to go to your edit. Okay, click on options, then click on currency. So here in this prefix, you need to look for the symbol for Naira, like we are in Nigeria. But if you have your currency to be dollar, it's very easy. So you just change the format to dollar. Okay, so you don't have to go all the way to the, but in case you are in a country whereby there is no you don't have the currency in that place, so you can say Naira symbol from Google. Then you can look for a space. For example, I can copy from here. Copy, then you go back to your SPSS. Okay, and paste it here. Then you click apply and OK. So it's going to do the same thing. So that's for that on this part.
So now another thing we need to do is to carry out some arithmetic operations. Okay, For example, like addition, subtraction, and what? Multiplication and what? Division. So for example, an example of what you can do is, let's say we want to calculate tax. Okay, we want to calculate tax, and we said your tax is 10% of the price. Okay, of the units. Okay, now this is what we are going to do first. We need to calculate. Now this one is unit price. Let's change this one to unit price. Unit price. So if this is unit price, what will the total price be? Can anybody tell me? How do you calculate for the total price? The quantity times what? So now we are going to generate a calculated column by doing what? Using the same syntax method. New and what? Syntax. Now we are going to come back to our what? This environment again, but this time around, what type of data are we trying to generate? Numeric. Is that what we have? Yeah. Numeric. So you say numeric. Numeric. Then what is the name? No, the one we are going to calculate. Total price. So you say total price. Okay, total price. Then we what? We declare the number of character. We are still using 20. We close the bracket and put what? Full stop. Go to the next line. We are going to compute it to be what? Compute what? Total price. Total price will be what? That will be quantity. So now let me try and bring it down so that I can see the name. So I'll write quantity times what's the operator for times? Asterisk. So you use shift 8. Asterisk what? Unit price. Units underscore price. Okay, so when you are done, you put what? Full stop. You can also close it with brackets. Okay, you put full stop here. Then we do what? We execute it. Then you put what? Full stop. So you alight and run it. So this is it, total price. So you can move it towards where you have, what is it called? You can move it beside unit price. So I will put it here, somewhere here. Okay, now we have total price. We can also change the what? The units, the type of data to what? To custom currency. So I will click OK. So it's going to come back to what? Naira. So now we can also calculate the that is tax rate. Okay, tax rate can be what? We said 10%, right? We click on file again, or there's no point doing that. We can just come to this place. So we have it like this. Okay, then we call it what? Tax. Then this one will be what? Tax. So this one will now be what? Total price. know why that is coming. Underscore price times what? 10%, which is what? 10 over 100. 10 divided by what? 100. Or you can just write 0.1 to save you all the stress. So that means this will be what? Your tax. So if I run it, so we have tax to be this one. So we can move this one also beside your total price. So we put it here. So this is your tax. Then we can change the data type to what? Custom currency. So that's for tax. Now, if you want to calculate your net profit, now your net profit will be what? Total price net price is going to be total price minus what? Tax. So that will be an example of how to calculate your to use your minus. Okay, we just say total price minus tax. So that will be give us what? This one will change to what? Net price. So we call it net price. So this one will also be net price. So we put this one as net price. So we then what? We run it. Course rep, please come for your attendance list. So now the assignment now. No rate. I'm not rating you for it. I want you to do your own research on something. You are supposed to be able to learn how to write conditional statements. You remember when we did if statement, like if? So we can also do that here. So I want you to go ahead, learn how to write if statement for one condition, for two conditions, for either condition. So we have three. If for what? For one condition, two conditions, and what? Either conditions. For example, if you have two conditions, you want to know between the two, okay, which of the conditions is met. So it's going to be all. Most times we use all statements. So learn that in 3. So prepare for your quiz by this time next week. But by this time next week, we are supposed to I don't know how we are going to do it. Next week should be for your visualization. Okay, you know what? If I make it let me send it to you guys. So you do it and submit on what? Do it and submit on, but before next week this time. I will send you a question that you are going to do for your quiz. Then you attend it and submit before then. Because next week we are supposed to handle visualization. So that will be the last week before your exams, right? Next week will be 19th. So the upper one is your examination. Yes, you know now which one is there. So if you have not been doing anything, go and do your work. I don't know you. Okay, now you know what? Let's do it this way. The if statement, I will add it to this video and send it to you guys. So watch it and be blessed. Okay, now I'm going to stop the recording. I will add the other one later.